Alright, I wanted to do like a lazy man's get somewhat rich slowly video because money's pretty confusing. So obviously I'm not one of those guys that knows how to make a whole bunch of money and be all like rich and live a life of luxury. But there are some simple concepts that I would have loved to have known when I was younger that I think would be good for anyone out there who's younger who might be curious. Or maybe anyone out there who isn't young but has had no luck whatsoever and feels like money makes no sense to them and would like to at least move forward. So again, this is like get a little bit rich slowly, not get rich quick or get rich slow or anything. It's like just move forward and make some progress, because to some people money's just a frustrating topic. So to me, the two simplest things that to help you move forward is one, the concept of paying yourself first, which may seem ridiculous when you're already struggling super hard to make ends meet and whatnot. So this may not be for everyone. Some people may be at the point where previous life choices have put them in a situation where they can't seem to find a way out of it. But even if you could do something super tiny, like find a way to either reduce your expenses or increase your income by about $100, $200 a month, just so that you could slowly start going forward, it would help. But obviously, the less you could put towards it, the longer it's gonna take. So one is to pay yourself first, like you're a bill. This concept is in a lot of places. The first book I know about where it was mentioned was The Richest Man in Babylon, which is a really good book, and I highly recommend it because it goes over some good concepts. In fact, I would say that would probably be the best book to read to get on the right track. I've also seen this concept a lot of other places, including the Rich Dad, Poor Dad books that he's made so many different series of, and then like Tony Robbins' Money, Master the Game. So it's not something that's unknown. Everybody who's made money knows about this concept. It's just, it's really simple. You act like you're a bill. So whatever you're doing, like in my own personal experience, I came into Maui in debt and I spent a lot of time trying to get out, and I think finally, like in 2011 or something, I finally broke even. So it's like I had a clean slate. I'm like 36 years old and I have a net worth of 0, but it's not negative anymore. And so I'm almost 41 now, so the last nearly 5 years I've gone forward at a pretty decent rate, and it's because of this concept. I was using this concept before because I had heard it in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's the first time I came across it, and that's what helped me get out of debt. But it took a while to get out of debt. If you cannot go into debt, that would be good. Like, there's times, like in business, it makes sense where there's opportunity and you can cash in on that opportunity and make it, but you didn't have the capital to go there. That's good debt. That's investment debt. But for the most part, if you can avoid debt, it's good, unless you see something like that where it makes sense and it's worth the risk. But yeah, you allot a certain amount to yourself. In my case, I started with 10% of my income and then I switched to 25%. And it's just like a bill, like you don't have a choice, you have to pay it. So just like no matter how many bills you have, it seems like somehow you frantically juggle things around and find out some way to pay it off. That's how you do this too, and you act like this is the #1 priority, the most important bill. So you just pay that automatically without thinking about it. I think the easiest way to do it is to set up one of those things where it like does auto deposit, so you just get your paycheck and it's smaller and you don't even realize that you did it. I mean, you know you did it, but like you're just getting the paychecks and making ends meet with what you have as the leftovers. That's the easiest, most mindless way to do it. And so yeah, now you're setting aside money. What do you do with? Well, there's a million things out there and it's confusing, and you're probably like me where you're a busy person and you don't feel like doing all this insane research and trying to figure out what to do, and it just overwhelms you. So I say just invest it in an index fund. I heard that the Vanguard ones are good. And why do I recommend that? Because most things that pay a higher percentage than that are real high risk, and most things that are more secure and low risk pay you junk right now. I mean, savings accounts haven't paid 1% in forever, and 1%'s a joke. They're like paying 1/4% or something ridiculous. So yeah, you don't want anything to do with that. Even CDs and stuff are like ridiculously low right now. I mean, it may have changed, but the last time I looked at the CDs at the credit union, not even a savings, a CD where like your money's tied up for like 2 years, it was like 0.5% or something. I'm like, this is crazy. How's anyone supposed to get ahead? And yeah, like a lot of the bonds and everything's paying junk. So you don't want anything to do with that because it's going to take forever for your money to grow. So why do I like the index fund? Because it's kind of like a collaboration of real secure, real successful companies. So the people behind these companies are the kind of people that are creative and make things, and they're successful and they adapt and they keep growing. So they're likely to do better than a majority of the market, because and every time one of these really good successful companies somehow loses their footing and isn't successful anymore, they get thrown out and they put another successful one in. So it's like an average of a lot of successful companies, and they keep doing that. So that's why pretty much if the index fund fails, the whole economy's collapsing. So I'm not saying that's not a possibility, but it's a lot less likely than any of these other random investments collapsing. So risk-wise, it's pretty low. There's risk to everything, but it's a real low risk. And it's got the best payout of any like fairly safe, low-risk investment I can think of. Like, it's way better. Like, I think typically it's like in the 7 to 10% range, but I always just go 7% when I'm calculating. And yeah, 7% definitely isn't ideal. It's gonna take you like 10 years to double your money, which isn't bad, but like, it's not like all these cool things. You like see things with 12% or 14%. That's gonna get you there way quicker, but the risk on those things is a lot higher. And everyone has different like risk aversity and whatnot, and you might be one of those intelligent people that wants to go research and figure out the market and try your hand at it and see how you can do. But this is for people who just want to be left alone, who have busy lives, who are overwhelmed by everything, just to give them like a slow track to do something productive so that they could slowly build a nest egg for down the road, instead of just being super poor, living paycheck to paycheck their whole life until they die. So the two things to recap are just pay yourself first like you're a bill, and then invest that money you're paying to yourself into like a Vanguard index fund or something, and that will slowly build something for you. It's not fast, and it's hard to be patient because it's frustrating, like working for the man all the time when you'd rather do something else with your time. But at least you'll be moving forward.